Hello everyone, this is Lesley, the Realtor here again, talking about first-time home buyers mistakes. Now, a lot of people have asked that I do some talking videos, so I'm here today talking about some of the most common mistakes that I see first-time home buyers make. For me, the first and the biggest one is that most people are afraid to start the process. So they don't know if they are ready, right? They come up to me and say, hey, I was thinking about buying a house. And I'll be like, that's a good thing. What do you know about the home buying process? I don't know anything. I'm like, we should definitely have a conversation. One of the first things you have to do is to talk to a lender. As soon as they hear the word lender, they disappear. The conversation is free. What are you afraid of? You're like, oh no, I will just figure out some things, and when I'm ready, I will come back. Like, how are you going to know if you're ready if you're not willing to have a conversation? You're not paying the lender for that initial conversation. You're not paying me for that initial conversation. What are you afraid of? If we work together, we'll get there faster. If you try to do it alone and you have no knowledge about the process, how do you intend to accomplish this? People, I am just pleading with you. If you even think you're interested in buying a home, let us have that conversation. Talk to a lender. We can refer you to one. Talk to the lender. They will tell you where you are at. Come up with a plan that is specific for you, and you will get to the goal of buying that home faster than you can do it on your own. The second one that I see is people thinking that they have to have a perfect credit score to buy a house. Now, obviously, in many situations, a good credit score is always better, right? But that is not always the case. With home buying, there are different kinds of loans. And say for FHA loan with a credit score of 580, you can get into a house. That is not the only thing you need to qualify for a house. Let me just put it out there. With conventional loan, a credit score of 620 and above will get you into a house. So you don't need to have a credit score of 700 and above to be in a house. Now, even though I said that, there are some promotions that home builders offer that you just need to qualify for one of those kind of loans. So if you qualify for an FHA loan and this home builder is offering a promotion of say 4.75% interest rate, it doesn't matter if you have 580 or you have 600, you will qualify for that house. You just need to talk to us. That brings me back to the point of being afraid to talk to us. People are afraid that we hear personal things. Trust me, there's nothing you will tell us that we haven't heard before, and we do what we can to keep your information confidential. Just talk to us. We can help you get into a house. If we can, we'll come up with a plan that will work specifically for you. Number 3, yes, this one. Many people feel they have to be completely debt-free to buy a house. Guess what? You don't. Did I say you don't? You can be debt-free for your own peace of mind, but for the sake of buying a home, a debt to income ratio of 36% is acceptable by most lenders. 36% of your gross monthly income should be going towards paying your debt. Now, that is for most lenders, but there are some lenders, or depending on the kind of loan, that will accept a debt to income ratio of up to 43%, and some can even go more than that. No, you don't have to be completely debt free to buy a house, but if you want to, that is completely up to you. If you're thinking you have debts, you need to clear them all up completely before you buy a house. That is not true. Talk to us. Talk to a lender. If they feel you are not ready, they will tell you what you need to do to get to that point. They'll tell you which ones to pay off preferably, and then you'll be ready to buy a house. Remember, if you go alone, you go slow. If you work with us, you go faster. Number 4, first-time home buyer mistake, and this is one of the biggest one. I need some water before I talk about it. Wanting to look at houses without being pre-approved. Oh my gosh. If you are a cash buyer, that's you have the cash to pay for your house, and I've had many clients do that, we are very happy to work with you. But if you are not, please, it is very important that you get pre-approved. One, so you can know what your maximum amount you qualify for is. And 2, so that you know if you qualify for a house at all. Now, if you want to go look at houses, how do you even know what price range you should be looking at? Some people say, oh, when I look at this house, it's like 500, 600,000. And then eventually they find out that they only qualify for a house for 250,000, or they don't qualify at all. Trust me, you cannot undo that feeling and excitement of looking at a $600,000 house and then knowing that you qualify for a house of 250. Looking at those houses, it can never be the same. None of them will be good enough for you. So do me a favor, let's do things the right way. It only takes a few minutes to complete that application. 10 minutes for the initial application, and then you upload your documents. You get pre-approved, and then we can shop within your budget. If you have extra money to add to that and buy a more expensive house, that is fine with us. First time home buyer mistake number 5. I know this is going to annoy a lot of people. Wanting to look at homes above your budget. You see, you have wine taste with a beer budget. Trust me, we've all been there. We look at the house that we qualify for and it's not good enough. Want the more expensive one. But what is the plan? You like it. What are you going to do about it? You don't have the money for it. Now, I just want to remind you all that your first home is not always your dream home. It is a starter home. That is where you start. You can gradually walk your way up from that starter home to your dream home. If you live in that home for a few years, build equity, you can take out that equity and put down towards purchasing your dream home. Do not be disappointed that it's not good enough. It is called a starter home for a reason. There are not many people who just start by buying their dream home. Most people start somewhere and gradually work their way up. It is okay to start with what you can afford at this time, and then gradually you will get to that mansion. But just remember, it's okay to buy a home within your budget. The more you wait, the more prices go up. Think about it. This is the first time home buyer mistake edition. I'm doing number 6 mistake that I see, and it's not in any specific order. Most people feel that they need to have 20% of the price of the house in order to buy a house, right? That is not true. But where did this 20% come from? 20% is just a benchmark. Most lenders feel like any home loan that you're putting down less than 20% of the value of the house is a high risk loan. They require you to pay mortgage insurance. Now, remind you, many people pay mortgage insurance because not many people can come up with that 20%. For many loans, that mortgage insurance falls off eventually when you get to that 20% point. Now, let's say you want a house for about 300,000. Remember that market does not wait for you, right? So it's 300,000 now. You need to save $60,000 to buy that house. How long will it take you to save that $60,000? Maybe 10 years. In 10 years, do you know what the value of that house will be? Maybe about 500,000. Then your 60,000 is not enough to buy that house again, right? Assuming you want to use that 60,000 at that point to buy the house, which is less than 20%, your monthly payment will be much higher. And it's still not 20%. Trust me, that would have been your equity in your house, but now that is more money you need to pay for a house. 3.5%, 3% is what they require for most first-time home buyers. If you have it, by all means, start the home buying process. First-time home buyer mistake number 7. Most people underestimate the cost involved during the home buying process and after you purchase that home. When I ask many people, they tell me they have to save money for their down payment, but they don't know that there is a closing cost as well. Closing cost is just fees and charges for things that are done during the process. So when they do a credit check, there's a fee for that. A title check for that house, there is a fee for that. Your lender's fee is included in that. Those are just a few things. Those can easily add up to 2 to 6% of your purchase price. When you're saving for your down payment, you also have to think about the closing costs. Depending on the market, there are things that we can do to help you pay little or nothing. So there is down payment assistance. Sometimes we are able to get the seller to pay your closing costs. The lender can contribute. There are many ways that we can go around that. It doesn't always work, but depending on the market, we can definitely try. Also, after you buy that house, it's not like renting, right? You have to take care of utilities, electric bill. There are other costs involved. Repairs, maintenance, all those things, they are all on you. But for some of rental units, they cover many of those things. But once you buy your house, it's all on you. So you need to have extra money to take care of those things when they do happen. Let's talk about first-time home buyer mistake number 8. And this is not in any order. Not wanting to do an inspection. It is for your own peace of mind, not mine. The cost is on you for sure. And that's the reason why many people don't want to do it. In Minnesota, average can be about $500, $600, could be more, could be less. But it's for your own peace of mind. An inspector will come in and look at the house. The things that we obviously cannot see when we go to look at that house, the inspector can figure those out. And they will tell you, hey, you need to watch out for this. This may break down at this point. This is not in good condition. And then we can go back and renegotiate and get you a lower price or back out of the deal completely. But with the inspection, you know what to expect going into that house. You know what needs to be taken care of, what may break down in the near future. Without that, you should expect a lot of surprises. It's very important to do an inspection when you're buying a home, especially if it's not a brand new home. Now, for brand new homes, it's completely up to you. They come with a lot of warranties, but some people still decide to do an inspection. Completely up to you. If you need me to further explain this, please ask me. The information is free. All right, we're still talking about first-time homebuyer mistakes, and bear with me, we are almost done. This is number 9, not wanting to work with a realtor. Really? Why wouldn't you want to work with me or any other realtor to represent you personally as a buyer? You don't get to pay us. You don't get to pay us. Now, some people think that if they go directly to the seller's agent, they will get a better deal. Maybe you may have some favor in that case, but you need to remember when you start working with that seller's agent, they have to be neutral in that transaction. They cannot really advise the seller and they cannot really advise you. They can give you options, but you get to choose. How do you choose when you don't know anything about buying a house? One, you don't get to pay your agent who is helping you buy a house. Go with your own agent and let them negotiate and get you the best deal possible. Some people will tell me, oh, I'm buying new construction, they have a sales rep, I don't need an agent. Did you know that that sales rep was hired by the builder to make money for the builder, and that is their primary goal? For sure, they'll sell you a house, but your interest is not their primary focus. Plus, the commission of an agent is factored in the price of that house, regardless of whether you use one or not. Why wouldn't you want to go with an agent who can advocate for you, get you the best deal possible, help you understand the process? This is the last one I am going to talk about. First-time home buyer mistake number 10. There are many more, but these are the common ones that I see. Number 10, not knowing the importance of location. Location matters for many reasons. Number 1, for some people, you have to choose a location based on your job, based on schools, based on amenities, based on shopping, based on if there is a bus route. It just depends on what you need for your daily living, like what is important to you. Now, for some people, those are not their main priority. They work from home, they may not have kids. In that case, if you're flexible, location can be important in the sense that depending on where you buy, you can get a very beautiful, even new house for less money. You can get a cheaper house in some locations, but in others, they are very expensive. So you need to consider location when you're buying a house. If you have any questions about everything I just said, 10 home buyer mistakes, ask me. I'm ready to talk about anything else that you're interested in. Thank you. Have a blessed day. And don't forget to call me 651-734-5045. Thank you. Bye.